Hey guys, here again. This is Staff Sergeant Sursick here in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, at the U.S. Army Drill Sergeant Academy. Posted a video prior to this about 2.5 weeks ago about my day before signing into the Drill Sergeant Academy, and I told you guys I'd keep you updated weekly. Well, things got a little hectic, and I just kind of escaped my mind that I was supposed to be doing these things to help out the future candidates. But let's get right into it. 36 hours. 72 hours. The first 72. What to expect? I mean, you're gonna pretty much wake up that morning. They're gonna give you that first formation out right outside of the barracks rooms here, and a lot of it's going to be one of those things where, you have a whole bunch of NCOs from different areas that have different levels of knowledge and expertise in different things. Some not as much as others, I guess you could say, putting it nicely. And the first thing they're going to try and do is form you up. And when they form you up, you're going to not do it to their standard 100%. You're just not going to. So expect to get talked to quite a bit throughout the day from the drill sergeant leaders about that. And among other things, they're going to be nitpicky the entire 72, as they should be. You're going to be a drill sergeant candidate, so you have to give off that professional appearance. So best recommendation to you guys, come correct, come with a clean uniform, clean boots. If you have to go out and buy those things, yeah, you know what? I would do it just to save yourself, a headache from when you actually arrive here. Get used to wearing a camelback because you're going to be wearing that everywhere you go. Even when you're wearing your assault pack, which, by the way, make sure everything's like military issued. If for some reason you can't get it, I would honestly go out and buy it because they're not going to let you carry anything that's not military issued here. No personal camelbacks or personal assault packs or anything like that to carry all your gear. But yeah, first 72 is going to be like that. There's going to be a lot of briefs and briefs. A lot of standing in line, a lot of waiting, a lot of briefs. Like I said before, DFACs the same way you'll see it in like basic training, where you go to the position of attention. And then you walk a few steps and you go to parade rest. And then, if you want to move again, you go to position of attention. And throughout this entire time, all your DSLs are going to be doing are picking random people out of the line and asking them certain questions. Like I said in my previous video, knowing the drill sergeant creed and the first 3 modules is imperative to your success here, knowing that right off the bat. And it's not only going to give you a leg up on the guys that decide that, I'll just learn them when I get here, but it's going to be less of a heartache when you get pulled out of the chow line to pitch position of attention, hand salute, or rest positions at the halt, or even the drill sergeant creed, because when you get it wrong, they kind of call you a POS and they send you to the back of the line. So, like I said, it's good to know those. So first 72, just expect it to be a little hectic, and like I said before. I think I said in the other video too, just try and be humble. Humble yourself, because in the end, it's going to make you a better person. It's going to make you a better leader. It's going to kind of give you a little bit of gut check, which I think a lot of NCOs really need. Not many are used to being told that they're wrong because you're an NCO. How could you be wrong, right? Who's going to tell you otherwise, except for like maybe a superior, like a leader or something, a leader that you fall under. And when they do it tactfully. They're not in your face about it. Here, you're going to get a little bit of a gut check, okay? You're gonna realize that a lot of the things that you've been doing on the line when it comes to like drill and ceremony or anything like that, you may not have been doing to regulation. And you know what? Not saying that's a bad thing, but here you're going to be doing everything by the book. So I can honestly say that you should probably brush up on your drill and ceremony. How to properly fall in a formation and all that kind of stuff. Get on it now. Because those first 3 days are going to be brutal. But enough about that. We'll talk about the first week now. First week didn't feel like it eased up any, but I think it did. Looking back on it, there there's going to be a lot of classroom environment type teaching in the first week. The main things they hit on, they have this R2 brief that they do throughout the entire school so far, for me at least here. And it's like a resiliency type of thing, but the first class gives you all these different types of study tactics, which super helpful, absolutely super helpful. Things I've never thought of before that would help you in your process to study. But then as times go on, which we'll get into that later, but those like, oh, what kind of leader do you want to be? What kind of drill sergeant do you want to be? And it gets into that aspect of things. But yeah, first week, a lot of classroom activity, a lot of telling you how things are going to go. They will always pitch the modules before you pitch them. So the beginning of each week, you'll get a pitch for the position of attention, the hand salute, and the rest positions, for example, for the first week. So that way you know what right looks like. They set the example for you to be able to do. That way you know what it needs to look like and sound like for when you pitch it. I found that extremely helpful. And I mean, obviously, like watching the videos online and all that stuff, and then doing my own studying, it's hard to get a solid answer because all these things are getting updated. All the standards are getting updated. So it's really hard to find what's right for like right now. So good thing they do that here. So don't stress it too much. Just find the most updated drill sergeant handbook, drill sergeant leader handbook, or drill sergeant handbook, and start practicing those modules that you know you're going to need, like the first three. That being said, also focus on, if you have the time, 7-22, the PRT field manual, because that is another, it's a new thing. My cycle was the first one to do it, but you're going to be taking a written test, and it's not just like a PRT test like what is in the conditioning drill or something like that, or conditioning drill 1, like what are the exercises. It's more like what are the phases of PRT, what are the types of PRT. It goes into like a lot of the master fitness trainers will have the same kind of tests from what I hear in those classes, and those are the kind of things that they're going to test you on here. So dig into that FM and study up, because we got lucky. Our DSLs, they gave us a review of it before we took our test. I think they may have felt bad for us because we were kind of lost in the sauce for a little bit. Well, the majority of them were. But yeah, definitely get brushed up on your PRT. Definitely get brushed up on being able to pitch it, being able to AI it. So knowing every single movement. So if you're like doing the bend and reach, like for a starting position for the bend and reach is the straddle stance position with the arms overhead, vertical, with the palms pointing in, fingers extended and joined. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. You can find that anywhere. And then like on count 1, on count 2, on count 3, know all that stuff, because that's going to help you a lot. We're taking our PT test this coming week in week 3, and it's better to start now and have a great understanding of it now before it's too late. Let's see what else. So we did PRT test, like a written test in week 1, and then we focused on the first obstacle course, which is kind of silly. It's a little 2.5 mile ruck march with a super light ruck to a fit to fight obstacle course. It's like the first one that privates do when they get there. Not like the first day, but within that red phase, the first one that they do when they get to basic training. And it's like the silly obstacle courses that it's supposed to just get you moving, I guess you would say. So we did that. We rucked back. That was all in week 1. Week 2, after we pitched our modules on week 1 on that Tuesday, it's always gonna be on a Tuesday. We got to pick our modules for the rest of the cycle. So that's something that I'll nip that in the bud right now. That is the standard here right now at the Drill Sergeant Academy. Is you, and that's why you want to know your first 3 right off the bat. Is you want to you're not going to know which one you pitch until that day for the first 3. You're going to pick hand salute, rest position, or position of attention. But once you successfully complete that one, either later that day or later on in that week, you're going to pick the rest of your module sets by random. So like for week 3, I picked 15-inch, no, not 15-inch set backwards. marching backwards, basically. Let me see. Where's it at? Hold on. Get it right now. It was 15-inch step backward, yeah. So this is my week 3 module that I'm pitching, and I'm actually literally studying today. Today is a Saturday. I pretty much got it down. It's a good thing that we don't have to study all of them, because that's kind of a nightmare, right? So like back in the day, even half a year ago, you had to study all of them, and you wouldn't know which one you're pitching until that day. You'd pick the card just like you did in the first set. Now we're all set in stone. I know exactly which ones I need to study, and I can take it week by week. But I highly recommend getting some eyes on that last hybrid set in week 6. That's what I'm doing, just so because I have stack and take. I have that one that everyone fears getting, and so I'm gonna hit that now, so I don't have to worry about it later. But yeah, so week 2, same thing. It gets a little repetitive. You're just gonna get a lot of classroom stuff. There's a lot of whatchamacallit, a lot of PowerPoint presentations. But halfway through week 1 into week 2 is when the candidates start filling the leadership position. So you're gonna get either platoon sergeant position or an AI position, or you're gonna be student first sergeant or the guidon bearer. Not many people will become student first sergeant or guidon bearer. You have a way higher chance of becoming a platoon sergeant or AI. Actually, you're going to do both of those. So they'll have 2 people per week that will be platoon sergeant and AI, and in the middle of the week, so like in 2.5 days, they switch. So there's that. Get used to that. And then in week 2 is when we actually start pitching PT and like doing the PI and AI demonstrating and all that stuff on the PT stand, so we can get prepared for our PT evaluation, which is running a endurance and mobility and a strength and mobility session one day after the next, and we all run through and we do our thing as PI and AI and get graded on that as well. So like I said, it's imperative that you start knowing what's right with the PRT now, because it's gonna help. Like I said, it's gonna help you in the long run. Looking forward into week 3, we are gonna get prepared for the 350-6 test. So what we're gonna expect for week 3, which hasn't started yet, obviously, it starts on Monday, is a lot of classes on 350-6, because towards the end of the week, we will be doing that as well as our demonstrator assessment for PT. I hope this is helpful. I hope I'm giving you guys the information that you guys want. If you guys have any kind of questions, I'm going to post this. I don't know. I'm kind of new to YouTube, so I don't know how to the whole subscribe thing works, but I hear people say it, so I don't know if I have a subscribe button. I don't know how it fucking works, but yeah. Give it a like. I know you can do that. I see the like button when I look at videos. Give this thing a like. Comment in the comments, and I'll figure out how to reply to you guys, and I'll give you guys all the answers that I can give you that I know so far. All right, but don't overstress it. If you're waiting to come to the academy and you got the time, take that time to better yourself. Is all I can say. Is get yourself ready for this school, because a lot of people come here unprepared, and it shows. A lot of people are getting the boot. A lot of people are getting here just not looking professional. I'll put it that way in the nicer terms, and just not prepared. So learn your modules, learn your creed. Get brushed up on your PRT, and you should be good. All right. But yeah, until next time, I'll talk to you guys when I'm done with week 3, hopefully. It might be a little late like this one, but we'll see how things go, okay? Have a good one.